Hey guys, what's up? This is Team Coding YT. As we mentioned in our previous video, we are going to discuss pattern programs from this video. In case if you missed our previous video, check it out. In this video, we are going to discuss three pattern programs which are basic yet important for the right foundation. Before getting started, let's have a glimpse of what a matrix is and structure of C for few moments.
What is a matrix? A matrix is a rectangular array of numbers, symbols, or expressions arranged in rows and columns. That means a matrix comprises of numbers, symbols, expressions.
But why learn matrix? You will appreciate why the concept of matrix is so important when you start writing logic for patterns. So for that, I urge you to watch the video till the end.
ओ भाई मारो मुझे मारो मारो मुझे मारो मारो नहीं ये मजाक हो रहा है एक सेकंड यार मजाक हो रहा है
Now moving on to the structure of C. There are few points which are to be kept in brain while writing a program to execute and are as following. Number 1. Boilerplate code. A code which is a repeated code written commonly in each and every program without or little alterations. In C, we write our code in the main function, that is, void main. But it is not a good practice to use void main, as most of the coding contests and new compilers ask you to start code with int main and won't accept void main. So it's better to start your code with int main. Then comes the part related to the question. Number 2. Declaration and initialization. Here, you need to analyze the inputs and output provided to initialize the variables accordingly. People take random variable names and get confused how and when to use the variables to project the logic for difficult questions. For example, let's say you are supposed to add two numbers. Here, you might not find the difficulty while using variables, as you might only require two or three variables, which is less number. But if you consider creating an application, you need numerous variables for various inputs and outputs, and you just can't give random names to it. So you might mess the entire program by doing so. Now it all comes down to this final step, the body, which is number 3. In body, you write logic which may consist of loops, functions, and so on. Now make sure you are clear on what you are writing, and every statement in the body should be used, which is a good practice. From now on, make sure you write logics on IDEs but not on papers, which makes you good with IDEs, improving your efficiency. So do not forget these points whenever you are coding. Chalo, let's dive in. Earlier we have seen the structure of C. Now we apply them in the pattern programs. For all that, let's try printing a pattern. Here is our question. We have to print square or rectangular star pattern. In the question, we have input and output as following. According to the question, we have to input number of rows and print the corresponding number of rows with the stars as given in the question. We understand that we have to print 5 rows with 5 stars in each row, and the same applies to the any other number. For example, if we say the input is 7, we have to print 7 rows with 7 stars in each row. So this is how we can briefly understand the given question. So without any further ado, let's try printing the pattern by following the structure that we discussed earlier. Number 1. Boilerplate code. Let's write the boilerplate code irrespective of the given question. That is, include stdi.h, int main, and return 0. Declare the variables required according to the question. Question says an integer variable is supposed to be declared for inputting number of rows. So let's declare a variable num representing the input number. Number 3. Body. Here's where we have to write logic for the given question. Now let's break down the pattern into smaller ones and try different ways of printing the same pattern and find the best approach to do it. One way of printing the given pattern is using printf statements. We can print this using a printf statement as following. Here printf is used 5 times, so let's execute it. Here each printf statement prints 5 stars, and using 5 printf statements we are able to print the required pattern. But this is static way of executing. That means whatever might be the input, your output is going to be the same. That means if we input number variable to 7, we are going to get the same pattern, which is 5 stars in 5 rows. But that's not what we want. We want 7 stars in 7 rows, and that's how our code should be. To achieve this, our code has to be dynamic, so that output must be corresponding to the given input, that is number in our case. Let's see how static is different from dynamic. We can see that the output is same for both 5 and 7 as inputs. But in the dynamic, the output changes, giving correct output for different inputs. So to achieve the dynamic program, we shall use loops. For that, we will start solving the problem from basics. Now let's take one printf statement for printing 5 stars. That is printf 5 stars in the brackets and closing it with a semicolon. Now this is a static way of doing it. Instead of that, we can do in this way using for loop. For int I is equal to 1, I less than or is equal to 5, I plus plus, printf star. From this code, the loop is executed 5 times, thus printing 5 stars just like previously. But that's not we want. We want 5 stars to print in 5 rows. So one way of doing is writing 5 printf statements in a for loop as following. For int I is equal to 1, I less than or is equal to 5, I plus plus, printf star, printf star, printf star, printf star, printf star, printf slash n. This is again static because if we want 7 stars in 7 rows, we have to repeat the logic for 7 times. But we won't get 7 stars as we have 5 printf statements only. So there's only one way to avoid all these problems. Step 1. Let's repeat a printf statement using a for loop for n times. That would be for int I is equal to 1, I less than or is equal to n, I plus plus, printf star. So we get n stars printed in one row. Let's say if we input 5, we are going to get 5 stars in one row. And if we input number 7, we are going to get 7 stars. So the for loop executes n number of times, printing n stars. Step 2. We want these n stars to be printed in n times, that is in n rows. So we can achieve this by using another for loop. So the code would be this: for int I is equal to 1, I less than or is equal to n, I plus plus, for int j is equal to 1, j less than or is equal to n, j plus plus, and printf star. After that, printf slash n. That means once a row is completed, the control goes to the next statement. Now let's consider the step 1 as a statement x. Now when this step 1 is put in a for loop, the step 1 statements will be executed n number of times. So just like repeating the step 1 in the step 2 for n times. So we would get the step 1 executing for n times as the step 1 statements are put in another for loop which is repeated for n times. So we can get n rows. Now let's execute it. Finally, we got the right pattern. So this is how we analyze and write the logic, and this is how our thought process should be while solving patterns. You guys have been watching this video for 10 minutes now. So we thought the video is too long and made another part explaining the other two patterns, and we will upload it soon. So kindly stay tuned by subscribing to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you do not miss any update from us. And let us know if you guys have any questions in the comment section below.